Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Chaitanya Charitamrta Yoga class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuru Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा वेलकम एवरीवन. We are continuing our discussion from Chaitanya Charitamrta Madhya Lila. We are starting chapter 24th today. Very wonderful chapter. 61 explanations of the Atmaram verse. In the last chapter, we heard Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described many wonderful principles of Prayojana, Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojan. These are the things which Mahaprabhu described to Sanatana Goswami. And we heard that many of these principles, many of these wonderful philosophical concepts, they are mentioned in Caritamrta Sindhu by Rupa Goswami. Sanatana Goswami instructed Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami wrote all that in his Caritamrta Sindhu. 24th chapter is the 61 explanations of Atmaram verse. So in this chapter, Sanatana Goswami, he requested Mahaprabhu that I have heard that you explained wonderfully this Atmaram verse to Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya. Can you please explain that to me also? So Mahaprabhu, he explains 61 different meanings without touching any of the other meanings. He spoke to Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya. And then he concluded by describing various types of transcendentalists, yogis, jnanis, karmis also. And he said that everybody used this verse according to their own understanding. But if they give up all their speculations and surrender to Krishna, then they will comprehend the real meaning of this verse. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he explains in this chapter the story of Mrigari. And then ultimately Sanatana Goswami offers prayer to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Also, Mahaprabhu, he gave Sanatana Goswami a synopsis of Hari Bhakti Vilas, which Sanatana Goswami elaborated in his book. Okay, so we'll begin with this chapter. As every chapter, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he begins by a very beautiful Sanskrit verse glorifying Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Atma Rameti Padyarkshya Artham Shunya Prakashayan Jagattamo Jaharavyan Sa Chaitanyodaya Chalaha. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That Supreme Lord, he is like a Udayachala. He is like a mountain in the, he is like the eastern horizon on which the sun of this Atmaram verse rose. And Arthamshunya Pradarshayati. He explained so many wonderful meanings of this Atmaram verse. And by this, what he did, Jagat Tamo Jahara Vyat. He dispelled the darkness of this material world. Whatever Lord does, he does only for this purpose, to dispel the darkness of this material world, to destroy the ignorance in the hearts of living entities, to reclaim the fallen conditioned souls, to reestablish the principles of hearing and chanting. Bhavesmin klishyamananam avidya kam karmabhi shravanasmaranaarhani karishyanniti kechana शृण्वन्ति गायन्ति गृह्णन्त्यभीक्ष्णशः स्मरन्ति नन्दन्ति तवेहितं जना तैव पश्यन्त्य चिरेण तावकं भव प्रवाहो परमं पदाम्बुजम्. He explained, Kunti Maharani is saying the Lord appears to re-establish the principles of pure devotional service. Sometimes by establishing the principles of deity worship, sometimes explaining the philosophical understanding. Beautifully, he explains in this chapter how every word of this verse glorifies Krishna and glorifies pure devotional service. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Sanatana Goswami fell at the feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, clasped the feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and humbly submitted a petition. Oh my Lord, I have heard that you explained this meaning of Atmaram verse to Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya in 18 different ways. This verse comes in Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, where Shukadeva Goswami is explaining to Parikshit Maharaj that everybody is attracted to the process of devotional service. Not just devotees, not just bhaktas. Even the great liberated souls also get attracted. Atmaramasya munayo nirgranthapi urukrame kurvantyhetu kim bhaktim itham bhuta gunam harihi. Atmaramasya, those who are completely self-satisfied. Nirgrantha, those who have no material desires, no attachment to this material world. Granthi means the knot. They have no knots in their heart because the knots of material attachment, they bind a person. Pumsa striya mithuni bhavametat tayor mitha hridaya granthi. This granthi, this hard knot of material attachment binds one to this material world. So these people, those who are Atmaram, they have no granthi, nirgrantha api. Although they have no attachment to anything of this world, urukrame kurvanti ahetuki bhakti. They also render pure devotional service, unmotivated, uninterrupted devotional service to the Supreme Lord. Itham bhuta guno harihi. And that Hari is full of wonderful, transcendental, attractive features. Can you please explain? I have heard this wonderful story and I want to hear more. If you kindly repeat it, I will be very pleased to hear it. Mahaprabhu says, Prabhu kahe ami batul amara vachane, sarvabhaum batul taha satya korimane. Mahaprabhu says, Prabhu kahe ami batul, I am a madman. And Sarvabhaum is another madman. So he believed my words. So don't take these things seriously. Mahaprabhu, when he meets Ramanand Rai and he is talking to Ramanand Rai, there also Mahaprabhu speaks like this. Ami ek batul, tumi dutiya batul, ateva matumai hoye samatul. I am one madman, you are another madman, therefore our frequency is matching. Only a pure devotee of the Lord can relate to another great devotee, another pure devotee. Otherwise, nobody can understand what is going on in the heart of pure devotee. As it is said, it takes one to know one. Materialistic people, they can never understand what is happening in the mind of a transcendental soul. या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्यां जागर्ति संयमी यस्यां जागृति भूतानि सा निशा पश्यतो मुनेः. They can never understand. Only a person who is mad for Krishna. It requires really a great amount of attachment and madness to understand Krishna, to develop pure devotional service for Krishna. Evam vratasva priyanama kirtya jata nurago drutachitta uchai hasatyatharo datirauti gayan unmadavan nrityati lokabahya. Pure devotee of the Lord, they are absorbed in chanting the names of Krishna. Jata Nurago, because they have anurag, they have attachment for Krishna. So sometimes they loudly sing, sometimes loudly laugh, sometimes loudly cry, sometimes they dance. Like madman, they are dancing sometimes. See, Mahaprabhu is saying, I am a madman. Sarvabhauma is another madman. So he took my word seriously. And he says, actually, I do not even recall what I explained to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Ki ba pralapila kichu nahi ka smarane, to ma sang bole yadi kichu hoye mane. Mahaprabhu is such a wonderful personality. He never takes the credit. Mahaprabhu is saying, generally, actually, I do not recall what I explained. But by your association, if something comes to my mind, I will explain. Similar thing he told to Ramananda Rai also. When Mahaprabhu, he was so very happy hearing the explanations of Ramananda Rai. He says, please keep on speaking. प्रभु कहे आगे कहो सुनिते पाए सुखे अपूर्वामृत नदी बहे तुम्हार मुखे. Nectar is flowing from your mouth. Please keep on singing. Ramananda Rai says, oh my Lord, what can I speak? I am just a puppet in your hands. I am like a Veena, you are Veena Dhari. You are making me speak. I do not know what I am speaking. Ami kichhui na jani. Says, I do not know anything. हृदय प्रेरणा कर जिह्वाय कराओ वाणी ही कहिए भालमंद की छुई न जानी. You are inspiring me. You are making me speak. The thing is mine. So Mahaprabhu says, actually, and Ramananda Rai says, why you are a sannyasi and why are you glorifying me? Prabhu kahe ami mayavadi sannyasi bhakti tattva nahi jani mayavadi bhasi. I am mayavadi sannyasi. I don't know what is bhakti. सार्वभौम संगे मोर मन निर्मल होइला. Bhakti tattva puchila. Says tahate puchila. He says, I do not know anything about bhakti. Sarabham sanghe mora man nirmal hoila. Association of Sarabham purified my mind. Bhakti tattva nahi jani tahate puchila. I asked about bhakti. ते हो कहे आमी नहीं जानी कृष्ण कथा सबे रामानंद जानी ते हो नहीं ये था. He told that he doesn't know anything about bhakti. Ramananda Rai says anything. He knows everything. So I have come to you. तुम्हारा ठाई आईला तुम्हारा महिमा सुनिया. I have come to you, hearing your glories, and tumi mora stuti kara sannyasi janiya, and you are glorifying me, thinking that I am a sannyasi. That is how Mahaprabhu is. He never takes the credit. He says, by your association, Sanatan, if I get something in my mind, I'll speak. Because generally, I can't give any explanation. Who is speaking this? Nimai Pandit, who was famous in Navadip as a wonderful scholar. Nobody could debate with him. He would argue with somebody, debate with somebody, defeat him, and establish his own conclusion. Then again he would defeat his own conclusion and again re-establish his conclusion. That was the intelligence of Nimai, and he is saying, सहजे अमार किच्छु अर्थ नहीं भासे तो मा सबार संग बोले किच्छु प्रकाशे. Generally, by myself, I can't speak any explanation. I can't give any explanation, but by the strength of your association, something may manifest. That is the ideal example of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Humility is the basic principle of pure devotional service. Devotee always feels that whatever I have, it is by the mercy of the Lord and the devotees of the Lord. They never take credit. Whatever accomplishments a devotee has, he always gives the credit to Guru and Gauranga. Arjun, he is telling to Yudhishthir Maharaj, it is the same Gandeva. I am the same chariot driver. I am the same chariot warrior. These are the same horses, same chariot, but still everything has become null and void. Just like if somebody sows seeds on the barren land, if somebody puts oblations on ashes, somebody moves a magic wand in the air, nothing will happen. Because Krishna has left, all my powers are gone. I was defeated by some infidel cowherd men. They took away all the wives of Krishna. Tadvai dhanushtai shava ratho hayaste soham rati nipatayastadanamanti sarvam shanair tadabhuda sadishariktam bhasmam bhutam kuhakaradhamivoptumushya. That is a devotee. He never takes credit for anything. So Mahaprabhu, he's setting an ideal example. He says, I am just trying to speak. I'll speak something in your association. Mahaprabhu starts. There are 11 words, very clear words in this verse. And when they are studied separately, each verse glitters. Each word glitters and gives wonderful meanings. So 11 words are there. Atma Rama, Scha, Munaya, Niragrantha, Api, Urukrame, Kurvanti, Ahetuki, Bhaktim, Itham Bhuta Guna, Harihi. These are the 11 words. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will now explain different meanings of each and every word. He said, starts. There are 7 meanings of this word Atma. Atma can mean the absolute truth. It can mean body, mind, endeavor, formness, intelligence, and nature also. Atma deho mano brahma svabhava dhriti buddhishu prayatnecha iti. These are the 7 meanings of the word Atma. And who is Atma Ram? Atma Ram is a person who enjoys these 7 items. One who enjoys the body, the mind. One who enjoys the absolute truth. That means who is connected to the absolute truth. One who is fixed in his endeavor. One who is very firm. One who is very intelligent. And one who has a very wonderful nature, Atma Ram. All these quotations Mahaprabhu is giving from a dictionary, Sanskrit dictionary, Vishwa Prakash. Then Mahaprabhu starts describing the meanings of the word Muni, Atma Rama, Cha Muni. Muni has many meanings. He says, first, I'll explain the meanings separately and then I'll combine these words also. Muni shabde mananashil ar kohe mauni tapasvi vrati yati ar rishi muni. Muni Shabda refers to one who is mananashil, who is very thoughtful. One who is mauni, who is silent or very grave. Muni Shabde mananashil ar kohe mauni. Either somebody is a very mindful or thoughtful, or one who is grave or silent. Another meaning of the word Muni is who is a very tapasvi, very austere personality, one who takes great vows. Tapasvi yati. Vrati, tapasvi, vrati, yati. One who is austere, one who takes great vows, and one who is in renounced order. Rishi, one who is a great saint. These are the meanings of the word Muni. Then Mahaprabhu starts explaining the meaning of the word Nirgrantha. Nirgrantha shabde kohe avidya grantihin, vidhi nished ved shastra jnanadi vihin. Nirgrantha refers to one avidya grantihin. The greatest knot is the knot of ignorance. This is the knot which cannot be opened up. It cannot be untied. It has to be cut. Bhidyate hridaya granthi chidyante sarva samshaya chiyante chasya karmani drishta evatmanishvare. This granthi, avidya granthi, it is cut by the practice of devotional service. Asang shastrena dridhena chitva. Because this is a very hard knot, very tight. If there is one-way knot, it can be tried. Okay, try to open it. But it is two-way knot, not just two-way, three-way, four-way. There are 8 different types of knots. Atma, Jaya, Suta, Agar, Pashu, Dravin, Bandhu, Rajya. All these things create knots in the heart. So this devotee, Nirgrantha, it means avidya granthi him. It also refers to one who has vidhi nisheda veda shastra, who is devoid of all the regulative principles mentioned in the scriptures, completely opposite. It also refers to Gyan Adi Vihin. It also refers to one who has no knowledge. Grantha, because Grantha means literature. Nirgrantha, who does not know anything. Vidhi Nisheda Veda Shastra, it is also a person who is devoid of all the regulative principles mentioned in the Vedas. He doesn't follow any of it. He is also called Nirgrantha. So that's how Sanskrit is such a wonderful language. One word can have completely different meanings. Vyasdev, when he wanted to write scriptures, he called Ganeshji. Ganeshji came and he said, I will write, but I have a condition. You should not stop. Vyasdev said, okay, I will not stop, but you should also write only if you understand. So whenever Vyasdev needed time to think, he would speak some very difficult verses, which are called as Kuta Shloka. One of the Kuta Shloka is very interesting. Keshavam patitam drishtva pandava harshanirvara rudanti kauravas sarve ha Keshava Keshava. Keshavam patitam drishtva, seeing Keshava falling, Pandavas became very happy and Kauravas were crying, ha Keshava. What's the real meaning of this? This is describing a scene. Somebody had put a dead body on the tree branch, which was on the shore of a river. And that body was falling in the ocean. Kaha Shava. Keshava means Kaha Shava. Patitam, it was falling. Drishtva, seeing that dead body falling. Pandava Harshanirvara. Pandava also means fish. Fishes were happy, food is coming. Rudanti Kaurava Sarve, who was crying? The crows were crying. Ha ha Keshava Keshava. So that's how Sanskrit, one word may have completely different meanings. There are few other meanings of this word Nirgrantha also. Murkha, Neech, Malech, Adi, Shastra, Riktagan, Dhana Sanchayi Nirgrantha, Arye Nirdhan. Completely different meanings Mahaprabhu is giving. Nirgrantha is also a person who is Murkh, who is illiterate, Neech, who is low-born, Malech, misbehaved, or Shastra Rikta, who is devoid of respect for the Vedic literature. Dhan Sanchayi, a person who is very interested in accumulating wealth. He is also called Nirgrantha. And Nirdhan is also called Nirgrantha. That is the different meanings of Nirgrantha. He says the ni, the prefix Nirgrantha in ni also is used for different purposes. Nishchaya nishkramarthe nirnirmana nishedhayo grantho dhane atha sandarbhe varna sangrathane picha. Ni is used for ascertaining something. Nishchay, ascertain. If you want to speak something very confidently, in assertive way, then you add this word, prefix ni. Kramarthe, if there is a gradation in something, that is also indicated by the word ni. And nir is also used if there is construction, nirman. Nirman is going on, that means construction, ni. And if there is some forbidding, nishedha, that is also a prefix ni. If there is some forbidding. Apart from this, grantha. What is the meaning of grantha? Grantha means riches. Grantha means thesis. And grantha means composition. Then Mahaprabhu starts describing the meanings of the word Urukrama. Urukrama means one whose step is great. Uru and Kram. Uru means great. Kram means step. Or Krama means throwing the step forward or stepping. That's how this word is Urukrama, one who has a great step. That's why Vamana Dev is described as Urukrama, one who took the greatest step. Krama, this word also has many meanings. It means power. It also means trembling. Krama. It also represents a systematic method. Very systematically, if somebody is presented, oh, it is in Kram. Or it can also be used to indicate an argument, that is yukti. Or it is also used to describe forceful attack, akraman. So krama has different meanings. And then Mahaprabhu quotes words from Srimad Bhagavatam. Vishnor virya gananam kadamo arhitiha yaparthivani api kavir vimane rajamsi Shaskambaya swarahasam sakala triprishtam yasma trisamya sadana durukam payanam. Even if a learned man can count parthivani api, even if somebody can count all the dust particles on the surface of the earth, still he cannot count the glories of Krishna. Vishnur na viri ganana. Vishnu viri ganana, not possible by anyone. Because in the form of his Vamana Dev, he captured all the planets, all the way from the lowest to the highest. That is the glory of the Lord. So the Lord is all powerful. Lord's qualities are unlimited. Nobody can count the glories of Krishna. It is described in the Bhagavatam. Gunatmanaste api gunan vinatum hitavatirnasya kaishirasya kalena yairvai vimita sukalpai bhupam savakhe mihika dvibhasya. Even if somebody can count the snowflakes, even if somebody can count the sun rays or the dust particles on the entire surface of the earth, still they cannot count the glories of the Lord. The Supreme Lord, by his unlimited power, he pervades the entire universe. He has extraordinary potency. And by his conjugal potency, he maintains Goloka. By his various Aishwarya Shaktis, he maintains many Vaikuntha planets. That's why he is called as Urukrama. Urukrama, it is also used to indicate the Supreme Lord, because by his external potency, Maya Shakti, he creates so many wonderful, unlimited universes. And Krama is also used in the sense of potency, Shakti, systematic arrangement, movement, and trembling. And then he starts describing the meaning of Kurvanti. Kurvanti is used if something is done for others. This is very interesting and important. In Sanskrit, there are two padas, Parasmai pada and Atmane pada. Parasmane pada means if something is done for others, that is called as Parasmai pada. And if something is done for one's own pleasure, one's own gratification, that is called as Atmane pada. So this Kurvanti is Parasmai pada. Atmane pada is Kurvati. Some Sanskrit. So bhakti is Kurvanti ahetuki bhakti. This bhakti is done for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of God. It is not done for one's own pleasure. Atmendriya priti vancha tare boli kam, Krishnendriya priti ichha dhare prem naam. The difference between kam and prem is for Krishna, for Krishna's pleasure. That is bhakti. And in bhakti, there is no consideration of pain and personal sense gratification. As it is described in the story of Madhavendra Puri. Bahu parishram puri chandan remuna nila ananda badila mane dukkhana ganila. He did such great endeavor. All the way from Vrindavan, he came to Remuna, Jagannath Puri. Dukkhana ganila. That is a devotee. Because in love, there is no calculation of personal pleasure. Purvanti padai parasmai pada hoy. Krishna sukha nimitta bhajane tatparya kahe. Krishna nimitta sukh. Bhakti is done for Krishna's pleasure. That's why gopis are glorified the most. Why they are the highest of the devotees? Because they are doing everything for Krishna's pleasure. Manas deho geho jo kichhu moya. Arpilu tuapade. That is Purvanti. Not for me. Everything is for Krishna. Prabhupada writes, thus Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu informed Sanatana Goswami that this Purvanti means it should be done only for the satisfaction of Krishna. And in satisfaction of Krishna, we also get satisfied. It is not for our own pleasure. Our pleasure is a secondary byproduct. It comes naturally. Susukham kartum avyayam. One of the quality of devotional service is Sandrananda Visheshatma. It is condensed bliss. So happiness comes automatically by serving Krishna, but bhakti is for Krishna's pleasure. That is the greatest shift we have to make from our pleasure to Krishna's pleasure. Since millions of lives we are trying to enjoy, satisfy our own senses. But the problem is, Tesham jata maina karuna natrapanopasanti. I have tried to serve my senses. I have tried to serve my anarthas for many, many lives. Kamadinam katina katitha palita duranidesha. They have never given me relief, no compassion, no freedom, no mercy. Utsrijjetanadhayadupate sampratam labda buddhi. Now, in this life, my intelligence has become reestablished. I have given up the service of my senses. Utsrijjetanadhayadupate sampratam labda buddhi tvamaya sharanam abhayam mam nyungshvatmadasye. Please engage me in your service, accept me as your servant. That is the greatest understanding possible in this human life. Sense gratification will not give happiness. To come to this conclusion, it may take millions of lives. So therefore, when we serve Krishna, bhakti is to please Krishna. Purvanti. It is done for Krishna, not for our own pleasures. And that bhakti is ahetuki. Ahetuki means without any personal motive. Hetu means if something is done for a motive. I am doing this because I want something. There can be three types of motives: bhukti, mukti, or siddhi. Either I want to enjoy, or if I get frustrated with the enjoyment, I want liberation, or I want siddhis. Mahaprabhu starts describing these three things. As when it comes to bhukti, there are unlimited varieties of material enjoyment. Bhukti, people want to enjoy in so many different ways. Shrotavyadini Rajendra Ninam Santi Sahasrasaha. People have thousands of topics to talk about. They want to enjoy in unlimited ways. Siddhi, there are 8 prominent types of siddhis. Mukti, there are 5 types of mukti. What are the 8? He says there are 18 varieties of siddhis. Sorry. There are 18 varieties. 8 are prominent and 10 are secondary. Anima, Laghima, Ishita, Vashita, Prapti, Parakamya, Kamavashayita. They are prominent, primary siddhis. And there are many more also. There are 5 types of siddhis. 5 types of muktis. Kapaladev tells to his mother. Salokya sarishti samipya sarupya ekatvam apyuta ekatvam dhiyamanam na grihnanti vinamat sevanam jana. There are 5 types of mukti. And devotee will not take any of this if there is no seva. Yaha nahi taha bhakti hai tuki. Yaha hoite vash hoy Shri Krishna kautuki. If these 3 motives are not there, I don't want bhakti, I don't want siddhi, I don't want mukti also. What I'll do with mukti? I don't want liberation, I want seva. Yaha nahi taha bhakti hai tuki. If all these things are not there, that is ahetuki. Yaha hoite vash hoy Shri Krishna kautuki. Kautuki Krishna, that means Krishna who is very funny. funny Krishna, Kautuki. Krishna likes to create some funny situations. He's not a grave personality. And that funny Krishna comes under the control of his devotee who practices ahetuki bhakti. Evam sandarshita hyanga harina bhrityavashyata swavashenapi krishnena yasedam saishwaram vashe. Harina bhrityavashyata. The Lord comes under the control of his pure devotees. There are 10 meanings of this word bhakti. There are two types prominently, sadhana bhakti and prem bhakti. Sadhana bhakti, one variety. Prem bhakti, 9 varieties. We have heard previously also. What are the 9 varieties of prema bhakti? Rati, prem, sneha, man, pranay, rag, anurag, bhav, mahabhav. These are the various types of prem bhakti. Sadhana bhakti, only one. That is execution of regulative principles. And he explains Rati Lakshana, Prema Lakshana, Ityadi Prachar, Bhava Rupa, Mahabhava Lakshana Rupa. So this Prem Bhakti has 9 various varieties, and we have heard in detail in the last chapter that this Prema, it manifests in different ways. There are various types of bhaktas in Prema. Shanta bhaktas, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhuri. Those devotees who are Shanta, they can reach up to Prem, Rati and Prem. Their love does not go beyond Prem, Shanta Bhakta. And those who are Dasya Bhakta, they can go up to Raga. You cannot even understand what is this Prema. So to speak of anything about stages after Prema. Rati, Prema, then Sneha, Man, Pranay, Rag. Dasya Bhakta can reach up to Rag. Vatsalya Bhakta can reach up to Anurag. And Sakhya Bhakta can reach up to Anurag. Then Vatsalya Bhakta can reach up to the end of Anurag. Sakhya can reach up to the beginning of Anurag. And Vatsalya Bhakta can reach up to the end of Anurag. And the gopis, they can experience bhava and mahabhava. Of course, we heard in the last chapter, Sudama, Sridama, one of the gopas of Krishna, he also has this, his love, although he is in Sakhya Bhav, but his love reaches up to this bhava. That is one of the special personality. We heard about that in the last chapter. And then even in the friends like Subala, yeah, they reach up to bhava. And then in Mahabhava, again there are 2 varieties we heard in the last chapter. There is Rudha Mahabhava, Adhirudha Mahabhava. Rudha Mahabhava is experienced by the queens of Krishna, the Mahishi. And Adhirudha Mahabhava is experienced by the gopis. So these are the various levels of bhakti, meanings of bhakti. Then Mahaprabhu explains, Itham Bhuta Gunaha. Please hear the meaning of this word, Itham Bhuta Guna. Itham Bhut has different meaning and Guna has different meaning. Itham Bhut Shabdera Artha Purnanandamay. Yara Age Brahmananda Trina Praya Hoy. Itham Bhut means Purna Anandamaya. This bhakti, it is purna ananda. Now Mahaprabhu is just explaining the words. Itham bhuta means it is so transcendental. It is full of transcendental bliss. And in front of this bliss, yara aage Brahmananda trina praya hoy. Jadananda, what we experience in front of this Jadananda, Swargananda is many, many thousands of times greater. In front of Brahmananda, it is insignificant. Swargananda is insignificant. Then what to speak of Jadananda? Brahmananda is really great. And in front of Bhakti Ananda, Brahmananda is insignificant. It is like 1 millionth of Bhakti Ananda is Brahmananda. Ya nirvritisthanubhritam tava pada padma dhyanat bhavajjana katha shravanena vasyat sa brahmani swamahimanyaphi nathamabhut kim tvantakasi lulitam patatam vimanat. Dhruv Maharaj is offering this prayer. Oh my Lord, after I have started experiencing the satisfaction and joy which I am experiencing in two things, Bhavajjana Katha Shravan and Tava Pad Padma Dhyan. That is so unlimited that even Brahmananda is insignificant. Then what to speak of Suragananda? And Jadananda is not in question only. त्वत्साक्षात्करणाह्लाद विशुद्धाब्धि स्थितस्य मे सुखानि गोष्पदायन्ते ब्रह्माण्यपि जगद्गुरु. This is from Hari Bhakti Sudhoday. This verse says, "O my Lord, O Supreme Master of the universe, after I have seen you, my bliss, my transcendental bliss has taken the shape of a great ocean. Vishuddha Abdhi. My ahlad is Vishuddha Abdhi. It is like the oceanic pleasure. And therefore, in front of this oceanic pleasure which I am experiencing, the pleasure of Brahmananda, it is like Goshpadayante. It is like the water in the hoofprint of a calf or a cow. Insignificant. Sarvakarshak Sarvaladak Maharasayan Apanar Bole Kore Sarva Vismaran. This pleasure, it is so unlimited. Sarva Akarshak. Krishna is so exalted, he is more attractive than anything else. Sarva Akarshak, Sarva Ahladak. He is more attractive than anyone else. He is all attractive. Sarva Ahladak. He is the source of all pleasure. He gives such pleasure, nothing of this world can compare to it. Maharasamaya. Maharasayan. And he is the abode of bliss. And by his own strength, Apanar Bole Kare Sarva Mismaran. In front of Krishna, everything else fades away. When Krishna plays his flute, Brajvasis, they forget everything. The gopis, they forget everything. Krishnera Madhuravani, he says, Mahaprabhu describes, Kaviraj Goswami describes that Kanera Bhitarava Sakare Apane Taha Sadaspure Anya Shabda Nade Praveshite Ana Katha Na Shunika Nan Bolite Bolaya Ne Krishnera Vamsira Charite. When Krishna's flute sound enters the ears of the gopis, it resides there and manifests newer and newer ecstatic symptoms. Doesn't allow anything else to enter the ears of gopis. Ana katha na shuneka nan bolite bolaya. They can't hear anything, they can't speak anything. They are completely overpowered. If gopis, they see Krishna's peacock feather, they can't see anything else. They can't come to Krishna's face. If somebody sees the feet of Krishna, they are stunned. If somebody sees the dhoti of Krishna, they are stunned. They can't move their eyes above it. Anything about Krishna is all attractive. He's Sarva Akarshak, Sarva Ahladak, Maharasayan. And therefore he attracts everyone. And everybody else, everything else is forgotten. Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi, Sukha, Chadayya, Ragandhe, Alaukika Shakti Gane, Krishna Kripaye Bandhe. Anybody who is under the control of Krishna, anybody who is practicing devotional service, who has experienced the beauty of Krishna, that beauty, that bliss fades away the attraction for bhukti, mukti, siddhi, sukh. Nothing of this world attracts, nothing of Brahman attracts. Devotee is completely bound by Krishna's mercy. Alaukik Shakti Gune Krishna Kripaye Bandhe. Krishna binds his devotees by his inconceivable Shakti, uncommon power. And when one is attracted to Krishna, no logical argument can stand. He's helplessly attracted. You can't logically convince a devotee. You can't quote scriptures. Nothing of this world will be successful in front of a Premi Bhakta who is bound in love for Krishna. This is his transcendental quality. Another mean, then Mahaprabhu describes guna. Itham bhuta guna. Guna means quality. So qualities of Krishna, they are transcendentally situated and they are unlimited and they are full of bliss. Aishwarya, Madhurya, Karunya, Swarupa Purnata, Bhaktavatsalya, Atma Paryanta Vadanyata. Krishna, he has so many wonderful qualities. Aishwarya, Madhurya, Karunya. Purna, Swarupa Purnata. His beauty, his opulence, his sweetness, his mercy. It is all perfect. Aishwarya, Madhurya, Karunya, Swarupa Purnata. There is nothing greater than Krishna's mercy, Krishna's beauty, Krishna's wealth and opulence. As far as his dealings with his devotees is concerned, Atma Paryanta Vadanyata. What to speak of giving everything? He gives himself to his devotees. Because he is purchased by the love of his devotees. He gives himself. Aham bhakta paradhino nahi swatantra ivadvijaha sadhvir grastaridayam bhaktair bhakta janapriyaha. I am not independent. I am controlled by my devotees. The Supreme Independent Lord is controlled. Atma Paryanta Vadanyata. He gives himself. And Krishna, he has unlimited qualities. And devotee, he is attracted by Krishna's beauty, Krishna's mellows, Krishna's fragrance. Krishna's fragrance also attracts. Therefore, Krishna is all attractive. How Krishna's fragrance attracts? The four Kumaras, they are the example. They were absorbed in Brahman and they went to see Krishna. And when they smelled the aroma of tulasi mixed with the saffron particles offered at the lotus feet of Krishna, Lord Vishnu, as this fragrance entered the nostrils of these Kumaras, they got agitated with feelings of devotion. Tasyaravinda nayanasya padaravinda Injal kamishra tulasi makaranda vayuhu Antargatasva chakara tesham Sanshobhamaksharajusham apichittatanavo. Krishna's fragrance is all attractive. He attracts everything. Everyone is attracted. Even if a person is liberated soul. Four Kumaras were liberated beings. His pastimes attract Krishna, the liberated souls also. Shukdev Goswami. तस्य पुत्रो महायोगी समद्र निर्विकल्पक एकांतमति उन्निद्रो गूढ़ो मूढ़ इवेयते. He was a Mahayogi, monist, absorbed in Brahman. And Shukdev Goswami says, I was attracted to the pastimes of Krishna. Parinishthitopi naigunya uttama shloka lilaya grihita cheta rajarshe akyanam tad adhitavan. In the second canto of Bhagavatam, when Parikshit Maharaj he asked this question, can you please tell me what should be heard, chanted, remembered? He asked at the end of the first canto. And Shukdev Goswami says, practice of bhakti is the supreme occupation. Tasmat sarvatmana rajan hari sarvatra sarvada shrotavya kirtitavyascha smartavyascha ichchata abhayam. Parikshit says, they have made a very, very secular statement. What about Gyanis and Yogis? What about them? They also have to do bhakti only. Yes. Everybody gets attracted to Krishna. Atma Ramascha Munayo. There this verse comes. And Parikshit Maharaj says, you have made a very broad statement. Any examples? I am the example. Shukdev Goswami says, I am the example. Because I heard Bhagavatam from my father Vyasdev. Parikshit says, what is the relation between Atmaram and you hearing Bhagavatam? Because I was Atmaram. Parinishthitopi nairgunya. I was absorbed in Brahman. But when I heard Uttama Shloka Lila, Shukdev Goswami, when he heard the beauty of Krishna and the magnanimity of Krishna, Baraha Pidam Natavarabapu Karnayo Karnikaram Vipраtvasa Kanaka Kapisha Vaijayanti Chamala Randhranvenum Madhar Sudaya Purayan Gopa Brinde Brindaranyam Sapadaramanam Pravishad Pita Kirti. As Krishna is coming from Vrindavan, the gopis are seeing the beauty of Krishna. He has a peacock feather in his hair, dressed like a very dramatic actor. He had karnika flowers over his ears. When Shukdev Goswami hears the beauty, he becomes completely absorbed in Krishna. And then he hears the magnanimity of Krishna. Ho Bakiyam Stanakala Putam. Putana came to kill Krishna and he gave her position of mother. Lebhe gatim dhatri uchitam tatonyam kamava dayalum sharanam vrajema. So therefore, will not be attracted to Krishna. Krishna attracts the mind of everyone. He attracts the mind of all the gopis. The gopis, they say, oh Krishna, after we have seen your beautiful face, decorated with curly locks of hair, beautiful earrings, we got your smile, actually, we have surrendered ourselves. Everybody was attracted to Krishna. Krishna is all attractive. Itham bhoot guna. Guna of Krishna is he is attractive. All attractive. All the queens of Krishna were attracted to Krishna. Rukmini was attracted to Krishna. Just by hearing her glory, his glory, she got attracted. Sa upashrutya mukundasya rupa virya gunashriya grihagatam giyamanai tammene sadrishim pati. She overheard the description of Krishna's Rupa, Virya, Guna. The sages would glorify Krishna's Rupa, Virya, Gun, wealth. She got attracted. And then she wrote that famous letter. She was about to be married to Shishupal. She said, I can't marry Shishupal, I'll die. She wrote a letter and sent a Brahmana The Brahmana came and Krishna, he read that letter. Shrutava gunan bhuvana sundara shinvatam te nirvishya karna vivarai harato angatapam rupam drisham drishimatam akhilartha labham tvayachyuta vishati chittam apatrapam me. O Supreme Lord, I have heard about your glorious qualities, O Bhuvana Sundara. And when I have heard your glories, all my angatap is gone. There is nothing greater than your beauty. Therefore, I am shamelessly attracted to you, O Krishna. So Krishna's qualities attracts everyone. Even goddesses of fortune are attracted to Krishna. Even Mother Earth is attracted to Krishna. The Nagapatnis, they say, after Kalia receives the mercy of Krishna, they say, what is the fortune of this Kalia? He has received the dust of your lotus feet. Even Lakshmis are hankering for it. Kasyanubhavasya na deva vidmahe tavangrirenum sparashadhikara yadavanchaya shrilalana charattapo vihaya kaman suchiram tritavrataha. Even Lakshmi is doing tapasya for many, many ages. She is not receiving the dust of the feet of Krishna. So Krishna, he attracts the minds of all the people in all the three worlds, not just earth, not just heaven, the spiritual world also. Who is that lady who will not be attracted to Krishna? The gopis are saying, Kastriyangate kalpadayat venu gita sammohitarya charitam na chale trilokyam. Who will not deviate from the path of chastity after hearing your flute, Krishna? Trailokya saubhagamidam chanirikshya rupam. Trailokya saubhaga. Your form is all auspicious. Yadago dvija drumam mrigaha pulakanya bipran. When you play your flute, your beauty attracts everyone. Cows, birds, plants, everybody is attracted. Even Vatsalya gopis are also attracted to Krishna in a maternal way. Men of Vrindavan are also attracted to Krishna as servants, friends. Everybody, all the living entities, Pakshi, Mriga, Vriksha, Lata, Chetana, Chetan, Preme, Matta, Koriya, Karshaye, Krishna Gana. So Krishna Guna attracts everyone. Pakshi, Mriga, Vriksha, Lata, Chetan, Achetan, everybody is attracted to Krishna. So that is the meaning of Guna. Okay, we'll stop here. We'll continue from 59th verse, where Mahaprabhu will describe the meaning of Hari. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Shla Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Caitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai.